Picture a mighty river, born in the heart of a mountain, its waters fierce and determined as they carve a path through unyielding stone. Now imagine that river, tempted by a fleeting distraction, veering off course, seeking an easier way. Its strength scatters, its purpose fades, and the stone remains untouched. You too are that river. You've felt the pull of shortcuts, the seductive whisper of instant gratification, promising relief from the grind. Why do you stray? Why do you abandon the steady flow of consistency for a fleeting thrill that leaves you empty? In this journey of forcing yourself to be consistent, we begin by facing the seduction of the shortcut, a trap that lures you away from your power. Stand with me now. Feel the current of your potential. Let's uncover why you resist the path that builds unshakable strength and how to reclaim your course before the stone of your dreams remains forever uncarved. Meet Maya, a young artist with a fire in her soul. Her sketchbook brims with visions of vibrant landscapes and haunting portraits, each stroke a step toward mastery. She dreams of galleries showcasing her work, of touching hearts with her creations. But the path is rugged. Her early pieces draw little praise. Friends shrug, social media likes trickle in, and a harsh critique from a mentor stings like a winter wind. Doubt creeps in. Maybe I'm not cut out for this, she mutters, closing her sketchbook. Then, a shortcut beckons. She notices trendy, simplistic designs flooding online platforms, quick doodles that garner instant applause. Why labor over detailed canvases when a viral gimmick can bring recognition overnight? Maya abandons her craft, chasing trends for quick validation. She posts, she trends, she smiles at the fleeting rush of likes. But weeks later, the thrill fades. Her true art, her deep vision, lies neglected. The gallery dream feels further away than ever. She's a river, straying from her path, her power to carve stone lost to a shallow stream of momentary praise. What did Maya lose? She traded the slow, steady work of consistency for a mirage of success. The shortcut seduced her with its promise of ease, but it eroded her foundation. Like a river that wanders, she scattered her strength. The lesson burns bright. Instant gratification is a thief. It steals your depth, your growth, your true triumph. Had Maya stayed her course, each rejected sketch would have been a lesson, each critique a sharpening tool. Consistency would have carved her path to mastery, just as the river shapes the canyon over time. The takeaway is clear. Shortcuts dazzle, but they derail. Your power lies in returning to your flow, stroke by stroke, day by day. Now see Jake, a man hungry for transformation. He's tired of feeling sluggish, of avoiding mirrors, of lacking energy to play with his kids. He commits to a rigorous fitness routine, early mornings, sweat-soaked workouts, meals measured with discipline. The first few days, he's unstoppable, a warrior forging his body like steel in a furnace. But by day 7, the ache in his muscles screams louder than his resolve. Progress feels invisible. "Where's the six-pack?" he grumbles, stepping on the scale to see no change. Then, a shortcut glimmers, a fad diet promising rapid weight loss with minimal effort. "Lose 10 pounds in 10 days, the ad blares. Jake quits the gym, trades dumbbells for dubious shakes, and waits for the magic. Days pass. He's lighter. Yes, but weak. His energy plummets, his mood sours, and the weight creeps back the moment he stops. The shortcut lied. He's further from his goal than when he started, a river diverted into a stagnant puddle, unable to carve through the stone of his challenges. Jake's story mirrors yours, doesn't it? You've felt the burn of effort, the frustration of slow results, and the lure of a quicker fix. But here's the truth. Shortcuts in fitness, like in life, are illusions. They promise speed, but deliver fragility. Jake abandoned consistency, the very force that builds enduring strength. Had he stayed his path, each workout would have stacked resilience, each meal a brick in his foundation. The river of his effort would have worn down obstacles, revealing a body and spirit transformed. The lesson, the takeaway, strikes hard. Resist the seduction of the shortcut. True change, true power, demands the steady current of consistency. You don't build a mountain in a day. You don't forge a warrior overnight. Return to your flow, lift the weight, keep moving. Why do you falter when the path grows steep? Why does the whisper of ease hold such power over your will? You're not alone in this struggle. Every soul who's dared to build something lasting has faced the seduction of the shortcut. It's a siren call, luring you with promises of rest, of reward without toil. But look deeper. That whisper isn't your friend, it's a saboteur. It knows that consistency, your river's steady flow, is the force that shapes destinies. It fears your power to endure, to carve through the stone of doubt and delay. So it tempts you to stray, to spill your energy into fleeting distractions. And when you do, you lose more than time. You lose momentum. You lose the very essence of who you could become. Think of your life as that river. When you stay your course, even through rapids and narrow gorges, you gain strength. Each day of effort, however small, erodes the barriers before you. But when you chase shortcuts, you become a scattered stream, trickling aimlessly, leaving no mark. How many visions have you abandoned for a moment's relief? How many times have you traded the slow burn of progress for the flash of instant gain, only to find yourself hollow? The seduction of the shortcut isn't just a choice, it's a test. It asks, will you honor your path or will you betray it? The answer lies in your hands. Consistency isn't glamorous in the moment, but it's sacred in the end. It's the quiet force that turns a pebble into a canyon, a spark into a blaze. Choose to flow. Choose to carve. Let's stand at the edge of your past decisions and gaze at the cost of straying. Every time you've chosen the shortcut, what did you sacrifice? Perhaps it was a skill half learned, a relationship half nurtured, a goal half reached. The seduction of instant gratification doesn't just delay your success, it robs you of your depth. It's like a blacksmith who, impatient for a blade, pulls the iron from the forge too soon. The metal warps, weak and unfit for battle. You too weaken when you abandon the heat of consistent effort. You rob yourself of the tempering that makes you unbreakable. Return to the river in your mind. When it strays, seeking an easier route, it loses its might. It no longer shapes the earth. It becomes a forgotten trickle, absorbed by the dirt. Your life echoes this truth. Consistency is your current, your force. Without it, your dreams remain unshaped, your potential unclaimed. Ask yourself, what have you left unfinished, lured by the promise of now? What could you have built if you'd stayed the course just one day longer? The shortcut's cost isn't just in what you lose today, it's in who you fail to become tomorrow. But here's the hope. You can return. You can reclaim your path. The river can find its channel again, stronger for the lesson. So can you. Let consistency be your guide, not your burden. Let it carve your legacy, one unyielding day at a time. When the shortcut beckons, how do you stand firm? It's not enough to know its danger. You must arm yourself with action. First, pause. When the urge to quit or pivot to an easier fix strikes, stop and breathe. Ask yourself, am I fleeing discomfort or pursuing my true path? Be honest. Discomfort is the forge of growth. Escaping it only delays your strength. Write down one reason, just one, why you started this journey. Is it to create art that moves souls? To build a body that carries you through life? Let that reason anchor you like bedrock beneath a river's flow. Second, shrink the temptation. Shortcuts thrive on overwhelm, on the belief that your consistent path is too long, too hard. Break your journey into small, steady steps. If you're an artist like Maya, Commit to one sketch a day, not a masterpiece. If you're transforming like Jake, focus on one workout, one meal at a time. Small wins stack. They remind you that consistency isn't a mountain to climb in one leap. It's a series of steps that build your summit. Finally, guard your mind. When trends or fads whisper promises, mute them. Surround yourself with stories of those who endured. Read of artists who painted through rejection, athletes who trained through pain. Let their rivers inspire yours. You have the power to resist. Take it one choice, one day at a time. What do you do when you've already strayed? When the shortcut has left you lost? You reclaim your current. Start by forgiving yourself. Guilt is a weight that slows your return. Release it. You're not defined by the detour, but by the courage to turn back. Reflect on what lured you away. Was it fear of failure? Impatience for results? Name it, so it loses its shadow over you. Then, rebuild with intention. Choose one area to focus on, your craft, your health, your growth, and set a tiny, consistent goal. If you're returning to art, draw for 10 minutes daily. If it's fitness, walk for 15. Smallness isn't weakness, it's strategy. It rebuilds your rhythm without overwhelm. Next, track your flow. Use a journal or app to mark each day you show up. Seeing your streak grow becomes its own fuel, a reminder that you're carving stone again. And when doubt whispers, counter it with proof. Look back at your progress, however small. Did you draw a line better today? Lift a weight heavier than last week? That's your river gaining force. Finally, tether yourself to a why. Write a statement of purpose. I create to express my truth, or I train to live fully, and read it when temptation strikes. You're not just resisting shortcuts, you're reclaiming your power. Step back into your current. Let consistency guide you home. We've walked through the seduction of the shortcut, seen its glittering lies through Maya's abandoned art and Jake's fleeting fitness fixes. We've felt the cost of straying, the way it scatters your strength like a river losing its path. But we've also unearthed the truth. Consistency is your might. It's the steady force that carves through stone, the quiet resolve that builds your greatest self. The takeaway resonates. Shortcuts dazzle, but they derail. Your power lies in returning to your flow, in choosing the long, steady path over the fleeting thrill. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. The river of your effort can reclaim its course, stronger for the lessons of wandering. As we move forward in this journey of forcing yourself to be consistent, hold this image, a river, unyielding, cutting through ancient rock, shaping the earth with every persistent drop. That's you, when you choose to stay the path. Let this be your resolve as we prepare to face the next challenge, building the habits that anchor your flow. For now, stand firm. Resist the whisper of ease. Return to your current. Flow steady. Your stone will yield. Picture this, a tiny seed, buried beneath layers of cold, unyielding earth. It trembles with potential, yet the weight above presses down. Doubt, fear, the sheer inertia of staying still. You are that seed. Deep within, you hold the power to break through, to stretch toward the light. But the first push feels impossible. Why does starting feel like scaling a mountain before you've even laced your boots? Why does consistency seem like a distant star when your feet are stuck in the mud of hesitation? Welcome to the battle of the first step, the silent war within. In this journey of forcing yourself to be consistent, understand this. The resistance you feel is not your enemy. It's the soil that will shape your roots. Let's dig into the weight of beginning, the struggle to move, and the triumph of pushing through. You're not alone in this. We've all felt the heaviness, but today, you'll learn to rise. Imagine yourself as a writer, sitting at a worn desk, a blank page glaring back at you like a mirror of your insecurities. You've dreamed of crafting a story that moves hearts, a novel that lingers in minds long after the last page is turned. But weeks have passed, and that page remains untouched. Each day, you sit, pen in hand, paralyzed by the fear of imperfection. What if the words fall flat? What if your voice isn't enough? The weight of doubt smothers you, heavier than any stone. You tell yourself, tomorrow, I'll start. Tomorrow, I'll be ready. But tomorrow becomes a graveyard for your intentions. One evening, as the shadows lengthen across your desk, something shifts. You remember that a seed doesn't wait for the perfect soil. It pushes through whatever it finds. You grip the pen tighter. You scrawl a single messy sentence. It's not poetry. It's not brilliance, but it's yours. And with that first mark, the earth cracks. The next day, you write another line, then a paragraph. The fear hasn't vanished, but it's no longer a wall. It's a shadow you step over. Consistency begins not with perfection, but with a trembling first stroke, like a seed battling barren ground. You realize the light isn't found in waiting. It's earned by breaking through. The lesson burns clear. The first step, however small, splits the weight of doubt in two. Start now, even if your hands shake. Now see yourself as a student, standing at the edge of a daunting goal, a degree, a certification, a dream that stretches like an endless horizon. Your study plan is mapped out. Hours of focus, months of grit, years of sacrifice. But the sheer scale of it looms like a mountain range, each peak higher than the last. You hesitate. How can I climb this when I don't even know where to plant my foot? Overwhelm grips you. Days slip by as you shuffle notes, scroll through distractions, and whisper, I'll start when I feel ready. But readiness is a myth, a mirage in the desert of delay. Then one quiet morning, you sit down. You don't tackle the whole mountain. You pick up a single book, read one chapter, take one note. It feels insignificant, like a seed's first nudge against the earth. But something stirs. The next day, you read another chapter. You set a timer for 20 minutes and stick to it. Slowly, the mountain doesn't shrink, but your steps grow steadier. You're not sprinting to the summit. You're carving a path, stone by stone. Like that seed, you learn the light isn't in the distance, it's in the daily push, the quiet resolve to move despite the weight. The takeaway shines. Consistency isn't about conquering the whole journey at once. It's about trusting that each small step cracks the ground beneath your fears. Let's pause and dig deeper. Why does starting feel like wading through quicksand? Why does consistency seem like a promise you can't keep? The resistance you face isn't just laziness or lack of willpower. It's the soil of your own mind, packed tight with doubt and excuses. Think of yourself as that seed, buried under layers of not yet and what if. The weight isn't just external, it's the stories you tell yourself. I'm not ready, I'll fail, it's too hard. But here's a truth to carve into your soul. Resistance is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're on the verge of growth. A seed doesn't curse the earth. It uses the pressure to strengthen its sprout. So must you. Ask yourself this. How many visions have you buried beneath the weight of waiting for the perfect moment? How many beginnings have you postponed, thinking the soil would soften on its own? The earth won't move for you. You must push. Resistance is the forge of your will. It's the darkness that makes the light worth reaching. When you feel that heaviness, don't retreat. Lean into it. Let it shape you. Consistency isn't born in comfort. It's birthed in the struggle to break free. You're not just fighting doubt. You're building roots that no storm can uproot. So stand, push. The light is closer than you think. Now consider this. The journey of consistency isn't a sprint across an open field. It's a slow climb through a cavern where the light is hidden until you've clawed your way forward. You want the glow of success now, don't you? You crave the moment when everything clicks, when the world sees your effort and applauds. But that's not how it works. Like a seed beneath the earth, your progress is invisible at first. Each small step, Each word written, each hour studied, feels like nothing. Yet beneath the surface, something is happening. Roots are spreading. Strength is gathering. The light isn't absent. It's waiting for you to reach it. Have you ever stopped to wonder why the smallest actions feel so heavy? It's because they carry the weight of transformation. A single push against the soil changes everything for that seed. So it is with you. Consistency isn't about grand gestures. It's about the quiet, unseen victories. It's showing up when no one watches, when doubt screams louder than hope. Think of yourself as a river carving through stone, not with a single crash, but with relentless flow. You don't need to see the light yet. Trust that it's there. Keep moving. Every step, no matter how small, is a crack in the earth above. You're closer to breaking through than you realize. When the weight of starting feels unbearable, don't stare at the mountain. Focus on the first pebble. Here's how to shatter the resistance. Pick one tiny action, something so small it feels almost insignificant. If you're a writer, write one sentence. If you're a student, read one page. Set a timer for 5 minutes and commit to just that. Don't think about the novel, the degree, or the years ahead. Think only of this moment, this step. The seed doesn't dream of the tree. It focuses on splitting the soil right now. Once you've taken that first move, pause, feel the shift. That small act has cracked the ground. Now, build on it. Tomorrow, do it again. Add a second sentence, a second page. Stack these moments like bricks in a wall. When doubt creeps in, stop and ask yourself, can I do just one more? The answer is almost always yes. Consistency isn't a tidal wave. It's a drip that wears down stone. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel strong. You just need to move. Start with one. The weight will lift, step by trembling step. Resistance often wins because you've forgotten your purpose. When the earth feels too heavy, anchor yourself in your why. Take a moment right now, if you can, and write down one reason you want to be consistent. Is it to create something lasting? To prove to yourself you can? To build a future you're proud of? Keep this reason close, like a lantern in the dark. When hesitation grips you, read it, speak it aloud. Let it be the force that pushes you through the soil. Next, create a ritual around your first step. Tie it to something you already do after your morning coffee. Write that sentence. After brushing your teeth, read that page. Link your consistency to a habit that's already rooted. And when you falter, don't spiral into guilt. Return to your why. Let it pull you back. A seed doesn't blame itself for a hard day. It keeps reaching for the light. So must you. Anchor your effort and purpose, and the weight of resistance will never hold you down for long. As we close this chapter on the weight of the first step, let's hold tight to the truth we've unearthed. The resistance to starting and maintaining consistency is not a barrier. It's the very ground where your strength is forged. You've seen it in the writer, trembling over a blank page, and the student, daunted by an endless climb. You felt it in your own hesitations, the soil of doubt pressing down. But like a seed battling barren earth, you've learned that the light isn't handed to you. It's reached through relentless, small pushes. The key lesson stands firm. Consistency begins with the courage to take the first step. No matter how heavy it feels, you don't need to see the whole path. You just need to move today. We've cracked the surface together. In the next stretch of our journey, we'll explore how to keep pushing, how to turn those first steps into an unbreakable stride. For now, carry this truth as your shield. Push through the soil. Your light is waiting just above. Picture a blacksmith's forge, the air thick with heat, the clang of hammer on iron echoing like a heartbeat. Day after day, the blacksmith strikes, each blow precise, each spark a testament to unyielding focus. This is the image of consistency, a relentless rhythm that transforms raw, brittle metal into unbreakable steel. You stand at the threshold of your own forge now, hammer in hand, facing the chaos of life. How often have you started strong, only to falter when the heat rises? In this crucible of daily struggle, consistency is your greatest tool. It's not about grand gestures or fleeting bursts of effort. It's about showing up, striking the iron, even when your arms ache and the world pulls you away. Welcome to the art of forging unbreakable habits. Here, within the broader journey of forcing yourself to be consistent, we'll uncover practical strategies to build and sustain the daily actions that shape your destiny. Feel the weight of the hammer. Hear the call of the forge. You're ready to craft a life of strength, one strike at a time. Imagine yourself as a busy professional, drowning in a sea of deadlines and endless emails. Your days blur together, each one a sprint to keep up, leaving no room for growth. But deep inside, there's a hunger, a skill you've always wanted to master, a craft that could redefine your future. Maybe it's writing, coding, or public speaking. The dream flickers, but time is your enemy. You tell yourself, I'll start when life slows down. Yet life never does. One day, you decide enough is enough. You carve out 30 minutes each morning, before the chaos begins, to hone your skill. It's not much, just half an hour while the world sleeps. The first week feels clumsy. Your words stumble, your code glitches, your voice shakes. Doubt creeps in like a shadow. What's the point, it whispers. But you remember the blacksmith, striking the iron with unwavering rhythm. You show up the next day, and the next. Months pass, and those 30 minutes compound like sparks building into a flame. Your writing flows with clarity, your code runs smoothly, your speeches captivate. Colleagues notice, opportunities emerge. What began as a sliver of time transforms into expertise, a blade forged from daily discipline. The conflict was never just about time, it was about forcing yourself to be consistent when every fiber of your being screamed for rest. Like the blacksmith, you struck the iron, day after day, tempering your will until it became unbreakable. The lesson is clear, small, repeated actions, fueled by relentless consistency. Craft mastery from mere intent. Your takeaway is that consistency turns fleeting moments into monumental strength, just as each hammer blow shapes raw iron into a weapon of purpose. Now, see yourself as a parent, caught in the whirlwind of life's demands. Mornings are a battle, spilled cereal, forgotten lunches, and the constant race against the clock. By the time the day ends, you're spent, with no energy left to reclaim your own space. Chaos reigns, and you feel like a ship adrift, unable to steer. But one evening, as exhaustion weighs heavy, you decide to forge an anchor. You set a simple morning routine. Wake up 15 minutes earlier, sip a quiet coffee, and write 3 things you're grateful for. It's a tiny act, almost insignificant against the storm of your life. The first few days are a struggle, the alarm blares, and the temptation to hit snooze is overwhelming. The kids wake early, shattering your quiet. This won't work, you think, yet you grit your teeth, remembering the blacksmith at the forge, striking even when the iron resists. Weeks turn into months, and that small routine becomes your bedrock. Those 15 minutes ground you, a steady pulse amidst the chaos. You start the day with clarity, not panic. The gratitude list shifts your lens. Spilled cereal becomes a moment to laugh, not rage. Stability emerges from repetition, a habit forged through sheer will. The conflict of forcing yourself to be consistent wasn't just about time. It was about choosing to build order when everything felt out of control. Like the blacksmith tempering iron with precise, daily strikes, you crafted calm from chaos. The takeaway resonates: consistency, even in the smallest acts, anchors you against life's storms, shaping strength from struggle with every repeated blow. Step into the forge of your mind for a moment. Consistency isn't a gift bestowed upon the fortunate, it's a skill hammered out through raw, deliberate effort. Think of yourself as the blacksmith, standing before a slab of unshaped iron. Your habits, your dreams, your potential. Each day, you must strike, even when the iron is cold, even when the hammer feels too heavy. Why do so many falter here? Because the first blows yield no visible change. You swing, and the iron remains stubborn. You sweat, and no masterpiece emerges. But here's the hidden truth. Every strike matters. Every choice to show up, to act, to repeat, tempers the iron of your will. It's not the grand singular effort that builds strength. It's the quiet, relentless rhythm of daily action. Consider this. How many visions have you abandoned because the first sparks didn't ignite a blaze? How often have you walked away from the forge, mistaking slow progress for failure? The blacksmith knows that steel isn't born in a day. It's forged through heat, pressure, and time through consistency. So it is with your life. That 30-minute skill practice, that 15-minute morning ritual, they are blows against the raw material of your potential. They don't dazzle in the moment, but over weeks, months, years, they shape something unbreakable. Pain isn't your enemy in this forge. It's the heat that transforms you. Fatigue isn't defeat. It's the pressure that hardens your resolve. Embrace the grind. Strike the iron today, and trust that each blow builds toward a strength you cannot yet see. Let's linger in the forge a little longer, listening to the steady clang of hammer on iron. There's a rhythm here, a pulse that mirrors the heart of consistency. It's not flashy or erratic. It's predictable, almost mundane. And yet, it's in this monotony that power is born. Think of a river carving through stone, not with a single, violent surge, but with the quiet persistence of flow, day after day, until canyons form. So it is with your habits. You don't need to overhaul your life in one dramatic leap. You don't need to be a hero every hour. You simply need to flow, to strike, to return. Why do we resist this rhythm? Because the world glorifies the sprint, the overnight success, the sudden transformation. But true resilience isn't a sprint, it's a march. Ask yourself, when did you last dismiss a small action as meaningless? When did you last abandon a routine because the results weren't immediate? The blacksmith doesn't expect the iron to yield after one blow. He knows the rhythm. Strike, pause, strike again. He trusts the process. So must you. Consistency is your river, eroding the stone of doubt, carving paths where none existed. It's in the quiet repetition of showing up, whether to write, to run, to reflect, that you build resilience. Each day you choose to act, you temper your spirit, making it harder to break, stronger to endure. The storm of life will rage, but your rhythm will hold. Keep to the beat of your forge. Let each strike echo as a promise to yourself. I will not stop. I will not waver. I will become. Now let's forge something tangible. Building consistency starts with a single, deliberate strike. A small, repeatable action that becomes your foundation. Here's how to begin. First, choose one area of your life where consistency matters most. Maybe it's learning a skill, like the professional in our story, or creating calm, like the parent. Pick something specific, 30 minutes of reading, a 10-minute walk, a 5-minute journal. Keep it small. Overwhelm is the enemy of repetition. Next, anchor it to a trigger in your day. Pair it with something you already do, like brushing your teeth or brewing coffee. This cue signals your brain. Now is the time to strike. When resistance hits, and it will, pause. Feel the weight of the hammer, the pull to quit. Ask yourself, am I one choice away from progress? Then act, even if imperfectly. Track your strikes. Use a calendar, a notebook, or an app to mark each day you show up. Seeing the chain of effort grow fuels your fire. If you miss a day, don't despair. The blacksmith doesn't abandon the forge after one weak blow. He returns with renewed focus. Start again. Finally, celebrate the small wins. Did you show up for a week straight? Acknowledge it. Consistency thrives on momentum, and every strike builds it. Remember, you're not aiming for perfection, you're forging strength. Pick up the hammer, strike today, build tomorrow. Once you've started striking, the next challenge is sustaining the rhythm. Life will test you. Distractions, emergencies, and doubt will try to pull you from the forge. Here's how to guard your consistency. First, anticipate the chaos. Identify what derails you most often. Late nights, unexpected tasks, emotional lows. Plan for it. If mornings are your time to act, set out everything you need the night before. If fatigue is your foe, build a buffer of rest into your week. Protect your rhythm like a blacksmith guards the heat of the forge. Without it, the iron won't yield. Second, create accountability. Tell a friend about your daily strike or join a group with shared goals. When you know someone is watching, the hammer feels lighter. Third, revisit your why. Write down one reason this habit matters, be it growth, peace, or purpose. Keep it where you can see it. When doubt whispers, let your why roar. Finally, adapt without breaking. If life upends your routine, don't abandon it, scale it down. Can't do 30 minutes? Do 5. Can't write? Reflect in your mind. The rhythm matters more than the size of the strike. Guard it fiercely. You are the keeper of your forge. No storm, no setback can silence the clang of your will if you choose to keep striking. As the heat of this forge lingers, let's gather the sparks of insight we forged together. Consistency isn't a distant ideal. It's a daily choice. A hammer in your hand, a rhythm in your soul. Through the stories of the professional and the parent, we've seen how small, repeated actions, 30 minutes of skill building, 15 minutes of morning calm, transform chaos into strength. Through reflection, we've uncovered that every strike, no matter how small, tempers the iron of your will, carving resilience from struggle. And through practical steps, you've armed yourself with tools to craft and guard your habits. The takeaway of this journey is clear. Consistency turns fleeting efforts into unbreakable strength. Just as the blacksmith's daily blows shape raw iron into a blade of purpose. Now, as we prepare to step beyond the forge into the next chapter of forcing yourself to be consistent, carry this truth with you. You are the master of your rhythm. The world will test your grip on the hammer, but you have the power to strike, to return, to endure. Let each day be a testament to your will. Let each action echo with intent. Stand at your forge, unyielding, and repeat this mantra as your guiding flame. Strike daily, forge your unbreakable self. Picture yourself standing on a jagged cliff, the ocean roaring below, waves slamming against an ancient lighthouse that refuses to falter. The storm rages, wind howls, rain stings, and the world seems to conspire against your very existence. Yet, there it stands, unyielding, its beam cutting through the chaos, a silent promise of safety and direction. This is you, right now, in the heart of your battle to be consistent. Life throws its tempests at you, external setbacks, internal doubts, voices that scream for you to quit. But consistency is your lighthouse. It's the choice to stand firm, to keep shining, no matter how fierce the storm. In this journey of forcing yourself to be consistent, you're not just surviving, you're becoming unbreakable. Feel the salt on your skin, hear the thunder in your chest. Are you ready to endure? Let's dive into the waves and discover how to stand firm when everything threatens to sweep you away. Imagine you're an entrepreneur, pouring your soul into a small business, a dream carved from sleepless nights and endless hustle. You've built a plan, a vision for a product that could change lives, but the first wave hits. A major client pulls out at the last second, citing budget cuts. You scramble, rework your numbers, and push forward. Then comes the second wave. A supplier fails to deliver, delaying your launch by weeks. Your savings dwindle, and whispers of doubt creep in. Maybe this isn't meant to be. Friends and family, though well-meaning, question your obsession. Why not take a safer job, they ask. The storm rages, and every fiber of your being screams to abandon ship, to seek calmer waters. But you don't. You remember why you started. You sit at your desk, surrounded by unpaid bills and half-empty coffee cups, and you choose to show up. You revise your pitch, cold call new clients, and negotiate with suppliers at midnight. Day after day, you stand firm, a lighthouse against the crashing waves of rejection and uncertainty. And then, after months of grit, a breakthrough. A new client signs on, larger than the one you lost. They've heard of your persistence, your refusal to fold. Your product launches, flawed but alive, and the tide begins to turn. What's the lesson here? Like a lighthouse enduring the storm, consistency isn't about avoiding the waves, it's about withstanding them. Each setback was a test, not a verdict. You didn't just survive, you became a beacon for others, proving that showing up, even when it hurts, carves the path to victory. Your persistence turned chaos into clarity, and that's the heart of forcing yourself to be consistent. Now picture yourself as someone striving for a personal goal, perhaps getting fit, writing a book, or mastering a craft. You've set a daily routine, committed to small steps toward your vision, but the storm brews within and without. Internally, self-doubt gnaws at you. You're not good enough. It hisses after a missed workout or a rejected draft. Why even try? Externally, the noise is louder. Colleagues mock your early mornings at the gym, saying, "You'll burn out." Social media floods you with images of instant success, making your slow progress feel like failure. The waves crash harder each day, threatening to drown your resolve. Yet you choose to stand. You lace up your sneakers even when your body aches, or you write one messy page even when inspiration hides. You mute the critics, both in your mind and around you, by focusing on the next step, not the distant horizon. You show up day after day, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And over time, the noise fades. Your body grows stronger, your words sharper, your craft clearer. People who once doubted you now ask, "How did you do it?" The answer's simple. You became a lighthouse, unwavering amid the chaos, shining through the fog of criticism and fear. The takeaway mirrors the first story. Consistency is your anchor in the storm of doubt and derision. By standing firm, by showing up when every voice screamed to stop, you transformed the noise into fuel. Your light didn't dim, it grew brighter, guiding you through the darkest moments. Let's pause and reflect. What is it that makes a lighthouse so powerful in a storm? It's not its size or beauty, it's its resolve. Built on rock, it doesn't bargain with the waves or plead with the wind. It stands, period. Its light doesn't flicker in fear of the tempest. It pierces through, unwavering, because its purpose is greater than the chaos around it. This is the essence of consistency in your life. When external challenges, lost opportunities, financial strain, or unexpected delays crash against you, they aren't your downfall, they're your proving ground. When internal storms, fear, insecurity, exhaustion, rage within, they aren't your weakness, they're your call to rise. Think about it. How many times have you let a single wave knock you off course? How often have you mistaken a storm for the end of your journey? The truth is, consistency isn't the absence of struggle, it's the decision to stand firm through it. Like a lighthouse, your will must be rooted in purpose, not swayed by fleeting discomfort. Every no, every doubt, every sleepless night is a wave testing your foundation. But here's the secret. The storm always passes, and when it does, you'll still be standing. Your light brighter for having endured. So, anchor yourself in why you started. Let that be the rock beneath your feet. The waves will come, but they will not break you. Consider another image. A blacksmith forging steel in a relentless fire. The raw metal doesn't become a blade by avoiding the flames. It must endure them. Be struck repeatedly and shaped under pressure. So it is with you in the pursuit of consistency. The external challenges, rejections, obstacles, criticism are the fire. The internal battles, self-doubt, temptation to quit, are the hammer's blows. You might wish for an easier path, for a life without struggle, but ask yourself, would steel ever become a weapon if it stayed cold and untouched? Consistency is your forge. Each day you show up, you're not just surviving the heat, you're being shaped into something stronger, sharper, unyielding. The storm around you isn't a curse, it's a crucible. Those who crumble under pressure remain brittle, but those who stand firm, like a lighthouse, like steel under the hammer, emerge transformed. So, embrace the chaos. Let the waves crash. Let the fire burn. They're not here to destroy you. They're here to define you. What kind of blade will you become when the forging is done? The answer lies in your choice to endure, to be consistent, to stand firm no matter the cost. Now, let's ground this in action. When the storm of external challenges threatens your consistency, you need a strategy to stand firm. First, define your why, the purpose that anchors your lighthouse. Write it down. Why are you doing this? Is it to provide for your family? To prove to yourself you can? To create something lasting? Keep this note visible, on your desk, in your wallet, anywhere you'll see it daily. When setbacks hit, read it. Let it remind you of the rock beneath your feet. Second, break your journey into small, unmissable steps. If you're building a business and a client drops out, don't focus on the distant goal of success. Focus on today. Send one email, make one call, solve one problem. If life throws a curveball, pause, breathe, and ask, what's the next right move? Consistency isn't about grand gestures. It's about tiny, relentless actions that stack over time. Finally, shield yourself from the noise. Limit exposure to naysayers or comparison traps like social media. Surround yourself with one or two people who believe in your light, who remind you to keep shining. These steps aren't complex, but they're your foundation. Build them, and no wave will topple you. Internal challenges, doubt, fear, fatigue can be even fiercer than external ones. Here's how to weather them. Start by creating a ritual of recommitment. Each morning, before the day's chaos begins, take 5 minutes to center yourself. Stand tall, close your eyes, and speak your intention aloud. I will show up today, no matter how I feel. This isn't just words, it's a promise to your lighthouse, a vow to keep the beam alive. Next, track your progress, even the smallest wins. Keep a journal or a simple list. Did you write 100 words today? Log it. Did you push through a tough workout? Note it. When doubt whispers, you're failing. Look at your record. It's proof of your consistency, a reminder that you're still standing. Lastly, when the urge to quit surges, delay it. Tell yourself, I'll decide tomorrow. Often, a night's rest dims the storm in your mind, and you wake ready to continue. These actions are your tools to quiet the inner noise. Use them, and you'll find the strength to shine through any fog. As the storm rages on, remember this: standing firm isn't about being unbreakable from the start. It's about choosing to stand again and again until you become unshakable. You've seen it in the entrepreneur who turned setbacks into stepping stones, in the individual who silenced doubt by showing up daily. You felt it in the reflections of the lighthouse, a symbol of your will against the waves, and the forging of steel, a testament to your transformation through struggle. The key lesson of this journey is clear. Consistency is not the absence of storms, but the courage to endure them. Takeaway: it's the truth that anchors you when everything else falters. You've built your beacon with purpose in small steps. You've silenced the inner storm with rituals and resolve. Now, carry this light forward. The next chapter awaits, where we'll explore how to turn consistency into momentum, how to not just stand firm, but to soar. Until then, hold your ground. Let the waves come. You are the lighthouse, and no tempest can dim your flame. Stand firm. Your light will guide you through any storm. Picture yourself at the base of a towering, jagged peak. The wind howls, biting at your skin, and the summit looms so far above that it seems to pierce the heavens. Every muscle in your body aches. Every step feels heavier than the last, and doubt creeps in like a shadow. Why keep climbing? But you do. You plant one foot in front of the other, not because it's easy, but because you know the truth. Consistency is the only path to the top. Welcome to the summit of steadfast will, where the transformative power of relentless dedication reveals itself in breathtaking clarity. This is your journey within the greater battle to force yourself to be consistent. You've stumbled, you've wavered, but now, as we stand together on this rugged slope, you'll see why every steady step was worth it. Feel the ground beneath you. Sense the victory ahead. Are you ready to claim the long-term rewards of your unwavering grit? Let's step into the life of a once struggling musician named Luca. Picture him in a cramped, dimly lit apartment, the walls paper thin, the air heavy with the scent of stale coffee, night after night. Luca sits with his worn-out guitar, fingers bleeding from endless practice, his voice hoarse from songs no one hears. There are no crowds, no applause, just the echo of his own doubts. Am I wasting my time, he wonders, as rejection letters pile up and gigs fall through. Friends urge him to quit, to get a real job. The temptation to surrender is a storm raging within. But Luca clings to one truth. Consistency is his only bridge to the stage he dreams of. So, he plays, every day, through frustration, through silence, through nights when inspiration feels like a ghost. Years pass. Luca's hands grow calloused, his voice stronger, his songs sharper. Small gigs turn into bigger ones. A local bar, then a small venue, then a festival. Each step is a stone laid on the path up his jagged peak. And then, one unforgettable night, it happens. Luca stands on a grand stage, lights blinding, the roar of thousands shaking the ground beneath him. Thunderous applause crashes over him like a wave, each clap a reward for every silent, grueling hour. As he strums the first chord, he realizes the summit wasn't just the stage. It was the steadfast will that carried him there. Like a climber reaching the peak through relentless steps, Luca's consistency transformed his struggle into triumph, and so can yours. The lesson is clear: stay the course, even when the world is silent, for your applause awaits at the top. Now imagine a woman named Akisha sitting at her kitchen table, a single light bulb flickering above. She's in her early 20s, juggling 2 jobs, her bank account a constant source of dread. Bills stack up like boulders on her path, and every month feels like a battle just to breathe. But Aisha has a vision, a life where money doesn't dictate her every move, where she's secure, unshackled. She starts small, painfully small, $5 a week tucked into a savings jar. Friends laugh, call it pointless. What's $5 gonna do? They scoff. Temptation beckons. Spend it on a coffee, a night out, anything to ease the grind. But Aisha resists. She forces herself to be consistent, to save that tiny amount no matter how insignificant it feels. Decades roll by, each year a step up her own jagged peak. $5 turns into 10, then 20, as her discipline grows. She learns to budget, to invest, to let her money build like a slow, steady river carving through stone. There are setbacks, emergencies, unexpected losses, but Aisha never stops. And now, in her 40s, she sits in a quiet, paid-off home, her savings a fortress of security around her. She looks back on those early, mocked $5 weeks and smiles. Each one was a foothold on her climb, each act of discipline a push toward the summit, like a climber enduring the storm to reach the peak. Aisha's consistency crafted a life of freedom. What small step are you dismissing today? The lesson shines bright. Even the tiniest consistent effort builds a mountain of reward over time. Pause for a moment and think, how often have you craved instant results, only to falter when they didn't come? The world glorifies the overnight success, the sudden breakthrough. But let me tell you a deeper truth. True transformation is forged in the unseen. Picture yourself as that climber on the jagged peak. The summit is hidden by clouds, the path obscured by mist. Each step feels futile, each effort swallowed by the vastness of the mountain. Yet, with every move forward, you're carving your legacy, even if no one sees it. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's the quiet, grinding work of showing up when the world isn't watching. It's the sweat on your brow, the ache in your bones, the choice to keep going when every fiber of you screams to stop. Think of the oak tree, growing inch by inch over decades, its roots sinking deep while storms rage above. Its strength isn't born in a day, it's the product of relentless, consistent growth. So it is with you. The rewards of steadfast will are not immediate. They're the panoramic view from the summit, visible only after years of climbing. Ask yourself, what consistent act are you neglecting because it feels too small? What summit are you closer to than you realize? The transformative power of consistency lies in trusting the process, in believing that every step, no matter how slow, is shaping your destiny. You don't see the peak yet, but it's there. Keep climbing. Let's delve deeper into the essence of the long haul. Consistency isn't just about action, it's about endurance, about carrying the weight of your ambition through the roughest terrain. Imagine yourself halfway up that jagged peak, the wind tearing at your resolve, your hands raw from gripping the rock. You look down and see how far you've come, but the summit still feels impossibly distant. This is where most turn back. This is where doubt becomes a boulder, whispering that the climb isn't worth it. But here's the truth. The weight you carry isn't just burden, it's the raw material of your strength. Every consistent step hones your will, sharpens your spirit, turns your struggle into steel. Reflect on this. How many dreams have you buried because the haul felt too long? How many times have you abandoned the climb because the summit wasn't in sight? Consistency teaches us that the reward isn't in the speed of the journey, but in the depth of it. Like a river that wears down stone over centuries, your persistent effort reshapes your life in ways you can't yet fathom. The summit of steadfast will isn't just a destination, it's the proof of your transformation, the evidence that you chose to endure. So embrace the wait, let it build you. Know that every day you show up, you're closer to a view that will take your breath away. Now, let's ground this in action. You want the rewards of consistency, but where do you start when the peak feels so far? Begin with a single, unshakable foothold. Choose one area of your life, be it health, a skill, or a financial goal, and commit to one small daily act. If it's fitness, let it be 10 push-ups every morning. If it's learning, let it be 15 minutes of study. If it's saving, let it be $1 a day. The size doesn't matter, the repetition does. Write this commitment down, put it somewhere you can't ignore, on your mirror, your desk, your phone. This is your contract with yourself. When doubt creeps in, and it will, pause, breathe. Remind yourself why you started. Picture yourself as that climber, planting one steady step on the jagged peak. Each daily act is a grip on the rock, a move toward the summit. Track your progress. No matter how small, mark each day you follow through on a calendar. Watch the chain grow. Let it fuel you. If you miss a day, don't spiral. Start again tomorrow. Consistency isn't perfection, it's persistence. Build this foothold, and over weeks, months, years, you'll look back and see a mountain of achievement behind you. Start today, one step. That's all it takes. Here's another tool to cement your climb. Guard your resolve like a flame in a storm. Life will test your consistency. Distractions, setbacks, Exhaustion will howl like winds on that jagged peak. When they strike, have a plan to anchor yourself. First, identify your triggers. What pulls you off course? Is it stress, social pressure, fatigue? Write them down. Then, create a counter move for each. If stress derails you, commit to a 5-minute breathing exercise before deciding to quit. If friends tempt you to skip your habit, rehearse a polite but firm, "Not today." If tiredness wins, set a non-negotiable time for your task, even if it's scaled down. Second, build a reminder of your summit. Keep a photo, a quote, or a token that represents your goal close by. Let it be your lighthouse when the storm of doubt rages. Finally, when you pray, celebrate small wins. Did you stick to your habit for a week? Acknowledge it. Reward yourself with something simple, a walk, a favorite song. These moments of recognition fuel your long-term resolve. Consistency thrives when you protect it. So, stand firm. When the winds blow, grip the rock tighter. Your summit of steadfast will is waiting, and no storm can stop you if you refuse to let go. As we stand together on this rugged slope, let's look back at the path you've carved. You've seen through Luca's story how daily practice turns silent struggle into a stage of triumph. Through Aisha's journey, you've witnessed how small, consistent savings build a fortress of security. You've reflected on the unseen climb and the weight of the long haul, understanding that consistency's transformative power lies in enduring the journey, step by relentless step. The practical tools, your daily foothold, your guarded resolve are now in your hands, ready to guide you upward. The key lesson rings clear. The summit of steadfast will isn't reached by speed or luck, but by the unyielding choice to keep climbing, no matter the storm. As you prepare to move forward into the next leg of this journey, hold this truth close. Your consistency is your greatest strength. Picture that jagged peak, the summit now within reach, the air crisp with victory. Let every step echo with purpose. Carry this mantra with you, a chant to fuel your ascent. Plant the step, climb the peak. Your summit awaits.